Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Football Manager 26 here with Pirin, Blagoevgrad here in the Prva Liga in the top flight of Bulgarian football, where we're on the road at Botev Plovdiv, which is in. And the reason we're in this match is because we did finish fifth, right? And I mean, I'll show you the table. It's not like we save scammed or anything because our form has been kind of trash. We have won just once in May, and overall we've won just twice since February. And even then, we won 3 matches in February, and we've won 2 matches the rest of the spring. We kind of drew our way to safety, honestly, as we've drawn 4 of our last 6. We're 1-1-4. We did get knocked out, of course, by Levski in the semifinals of the Bulgarian Cup, or Cupa Bulgaria. And we do have our new wage bill for next year, which we've also adjusted the transfer bill a little bit. So we have 70,000 euros in the transfer budget. And we have 3,000, let's call it, euros in the wage bill. Not quite 3,000, but we are going to try to sell a couple players who we don't think we're going to need for next year, or aren't good enough for next year, I should say. And then, hopefully be able to bring in a couple players and some more depth. Now, Donchev, unfortunately, is suspended for this match, and with Bukalski out injured, we really don't have a left wing back. That being said, we are going to try to play with Georgiev over there, so we have Kazakov and Nene. We are going to let Vasiliev, who's only supposed to play about 75 minutes, Bastunev, 45 minutes. Yeah, we'll let Zakovic continue to play there. Major, who has just been awful basically most of the season. Ibrahim Petrov and Ivanov. And then, of course, Kostov, who's been our best player. Now, on the one hand, right, we did ask for facilities upgrades for the senior squad. They said we would love to, but we can't afford to. So, on that regard, obviously making it into Europe, even though it's the Conference League, and this is the European Final Places playoff, would be massive, right? Being able to get that money, being able to get a chance to potentially upgrade our trade facilities in the future. Having been in Victoria Liga last season, Blagoevgrad now find themselves in the Prva Liga playoffs. What are your thoughts on that? Just to be in this position speaks volume of the ability we have in the squad. I'm honestly really confident of success of the playoffs to the second promotion. Do you think Kolev made the right decision to transfer lifting Jose Juan Guillen? I don't really know. Who does he play for? Spartak Varna? It's hard for me to say. Now, what I will say is, he might be somebody I want to bring, so I'm surprised to hear that particular piece of news because Jose Juan is a fantastic player. Must have taken something very serious for this to have occurred. Can we expect a transfer bid in the future? Let's wait and see how things develop. I'm not ruling anything out. Georgie, we have a great respect for each other. So yeah, Botev Plovdiv, because of our injury situation, because of our lack of fitness situation, I would definitely expect them to beat us. We are 17-5-15, so the good news is we're going to have a winning season for the second straight year no matter what happens. However, I can't say it'll be disappointing, right? Because it is the game itself just pointed out, it is our first season up from the bottom league here in Bulgaria. It will, of course, be a little bit disappointing if we don't make Europe, but, at the same time, given that Kostov missed a long time with injuries, Vasiliev has had some injuries, Bastunev has had some injuries, I do think it's somewhat realistic as we try to play it ahead to Nene. Nene, he's going to play it across to Vasiliev, and he's in! Velislav Vasiliev from Nene, and Pirin takes an early 1-0 lead here in the 8th minute over Botev Plovdiv. the only team in the top 4 that we have beaten all year. Beautiful ball there by Georgiev. Great ball across by Nene. Great run by Vasiliev. And we will praise the lads, right? Because at this point of the season, obviously we want to go through. Obviously we want to get it a year for the first time in club history. Obvious statement is obvious, right? Winning the second time in 3 matches, getting that money, being able to improve our facilities. The owner allegedly had been looking to step away. That we got another report say that was just a rumor. Now that nice interception there by Zakovic. Tries to play it long. Unfortunately, they do get it back to John, to Petrikov. Yeah. Oh, wait, he might have been offsides. They might have been offsides on that, so it might not count. It was a good attacking play by them, so I could see it counting. But we might escape with it, with our 1-0 lead, although I'm thinking it's going to stay in. Oh, it's disallowed. I was wrong. Let's take a look at that. Yep, yeah, you can see he is a little bit offsides there. Obviously, a 1-goal lead. I mean, theoretically it is enough, but it does make me very, very nervous anytime it's just 1-0. What would we need? I mean, honestly, we'd probably need a 3-goal lead for me to feel confident. Oh, dude, come on, Georgiev. I know this isn't really your position in anything, but you kind of gave up on that ball there. As you take a long shot, and it will be a corner. Kostov pokes it over the top of the bar here, the 29th minute. Honestly, I'm not sure that he really needed to do that. Yeah, they're just starting to get. Oh my gosh, starting to get all the highlights. Vasiliev came with the header. Or is that Kozakov who couldn't read the headers? Yeah, Vasiliev could have with the header. So another highlight for them. And Kostov again comes through big. Our back line is, we're not necessarily in terrible positions, but we're just not quite able to see it out. But we really could use another goal. To go up 2 would be massive. Obviously, we're under a lot of pressure right now, and that makes me a little bit nervous. I can't lie. That does make me a little bit nervous. I'm debating switching tactics. Not something I do very often. But do we switch a tactic to try to get a little bit more depth? Although we have a quarter here at the very end of the first half. This would be just massive. If we could score here, this would be massive. Bliznikov. No. We have tried a couple times as well to get our set-piece coach a new coaching badge. Or a coaching course, and the board has said both times, yeah, we agree, but he doesn't want to take a course. So, that's a little bit frustrating. We're doing well, but we can definitely, I'll be positive, right? I'll be positive and say, look, I know both wingbacks are out. I know my best midfielder can't really play very forward. One of my best wingers can't play the whole match. And we're also still really, really young. So we probably should not be in Europe after 1 year in the top flight. It's going to hurt if we don't get in there. Right? Because I know this is not a series that's getting a lot of views. I know FM26 isn't that well received, and for good reasons. In a lot of cases as we get into the second half. But at the same time, I'm loving the save. I am loving the save, and nice interception there to at least to start the second half. Nobody's got a yellow card so far. Major, I think, is probably going to get sold because he has been I hate to say it like this to be a cliche, but he has been a major disappointment. He has just been a major league disappointment. It's not like we're splashing, super big money on any of these players here in the Bulgarian First League, but he has honestly been maybe the biggest disappointment of the season. Nene hasn't had the greatest year, but he's had his moments where, oh my God, that was just horrendous defending by Ibrahim. That was really shocking level of defending. Ivanov will come in for Major, who's at a 6.23. Now, Ivanov is terrible. Like, again, our right wing backs are awful for the most part. But Major played at a 6.23. I mean, again, that's basically what he's been doing for pretty much the last 5 to 6 weeks. The problem is we just, Georgiev has played okay today. Oh, nice save by Kostov. That man has saved us so many times this year. It's really ridiculous. And to think I was debating whether or not I wanted to re-sign the 31-year-old to a 4-year contract. He has saved us so many freaky times. Georgiev has played at a 6.42, but again, we really don't have anybody to put it for him. Bastunev will come in and play in the box-to-box role for Bliznikov. Shotev will go for Vesela because, again, we don't want him to get injured, right, and miss the start of the season. So we'll make those two changes. Fresh legs of the midfield, one fresh attacker. We have 2 subs left. I mean, I could see this going to the stoppage time. I could definitely see stoppage time right now. I mean, I don't want to see stoppage time as we have a throw-in. Ibrahim's not played very well. Ivanov's also tired. Zakovic is tired. Kazakov's not played super-duper well. Dimitrov will go for Ivanov. There's Sodarev will go in there. So we'll get another fresh player in the midfield. So we're going to have one new center back and one new midfielder coming on once we eventually get the throw. Bastudov to Nene. Nene could have played it forward. We try to play it forward to Georgiev. Georgiev runs all the way to the touchline. God, he looks really short. To Nene, and it's in. That is massive. Martin Georgiev, who I think we already are letting go, and I've said, hey, we don't think you're good enough. He has come in, played out of position on the left wing, and Blagoevgrad, I think, is going to get into the European places. This is just beautiful play here by Martin. And then again, Nene, who started off the year really, really slowly, but has come on. Here towards the end of the season. Right, he's got a goal, he's got an assist. We will go for standard time wasted, that is, standard tempo. We already are played back. Oh, God. 75 minutes, they have a highlight. I would have liked a little bit longer without a highlight game. I would have liked a little bit longer without a highlight. Oh, I don't want to see a 2-goal collapse. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. Okay, that's well over the goal. There we go. 75 minutes. Just see it out, boys. Just see it out. You've been great. You're on the cusp of getting into Europe. I mean, that would just be absolutely mad, right? Lower tempo, higher time wasting. 85 minutes. I think it's going to happen. Try to play it long. Nene doesn't jump at all. I mean, that would have been a great play if he would have been able to make it. Here in the 87th minute, we're trying to hang on. Adelani. Runs up past Georgiev. Georgiev tries to contest, and it's over the bar. Georgiev has played well. Like, okay, he's got the assist. He's 7.0 rating. I think we're going to do it. I really, really do. Plus 4 minutes of stoppage time. We have the highlight here at 90 minutes. We're about to hit the 91st minute here. The first minute stoppage time out of 4. Ivanov with the throw in. Soderov to Ivanov. Ivanov dribbles it, passes it to Kazakov. Kazakov plays it ahead to Shotev. Shotev to Nene. Nene back to Kazakov. Kazakov is through. He's in. And that'll do it. That will definitely do it. A dominating 3-0 victory for Blagoevgrad on the road against Botev Plovdiv. Zero questions, zero debate. Which was the better side? Sets us up with European football in year 3. Definitely going to help the finances. And against all odds, this very young team that has tried to build out through the youth in a lot of ways does go on the road, beats a team for the top 4, something we haven't done a lot of, and does it rather convincingly. That's out years, everyone who wrote us off backtracking. What a performance indeed. What a performance indeed. The magic of the Cup strikes again. What a great day for Pirin Blagoevgrad. We had a game plan, we stuck to it, and I could be proud of every single one of my players. A huge result today. How did you do it? It's all down to the players. They worked hard, stuck to the game plan, and got the rewards they deserve. Well, we didn't really win. We didn't win a cup. We take full advantage of a disappointing Botev Plovdiv performance at Hresto Botov to record a 3-0 victory in the EF Bet League European Places final match where VAR was a factor. Okay, they did have their goal ruled offsides. Maybe things are different if that's credited. It's 1-1, but we take advantage of that. Jose Juan Yelin, we will put him on the short list for a year because I'm not sure, what he's going to cost. He might be too expensive for us. Georgiev keeps him quiet. I mean, playing out of position. Nene is the cream of the crop. He was definitely superb. Collective bonuses play out. They host a shock result. And yeah, I mean, in the Priva Liga, we actually finished 6th in goals scored. We were first in yellow cards received, and actually against versus Ludogorets, we were 4th in the league in attendance. We averaged 3,350. 45% of our stadium was filled, and yet we were 4th in the league, which again shows you what the league in Bulgaria is, right? Kolev has showed no signs of backing down. It seems to be happening. I can't help but think there's going to be a queue of suitors. I'd love a beer. Are you pleased with the way Nene played? Yes, he was a purist sort of performance that we know he's capable of. Of course. So again, Kostov was the top goalkeeper of the league. We'll take a very quick look here at our roster overall and what we managed to do. Again, Nene, we did re-sign. Kazakov, we re-signed. Vasilev re-signed. So again, our attack, I think, is a good hands. Our attack is a good hands, I think. Mulishev also coming off the bench. We do think he's only a 2-star player, but as of right now, 30 appearances for Kostov, 7.10 rating. Just masterful. Now, Ivanov, Petrov, and Ibrahim, right, all had 6.8 or better. I do think I'm going to try to upgrade at least one of them. Now, I'd like to bring them all back, but I like to upgrade at least one of them. Major 6.61 rating. Just that really doesn't tell the story though. His last 5 matches, 6.44 rating, 6.2, 6.3, 6.5, 6.1 in his last four. 25-year-old Hungarian, 2 assists and 33, 1 goal and 3 assists and 33 appearances all told. Okay, Zakovic, 35 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist, 6.77 rating, but for a 19-year-old, that's not terrible. Bliznikov made 32 appearances. Martin Georgiev ended up making 14. Velislav Vasilev, again, made 34 appearances, 6 goals, 8 assists. Again, we did re-sign him as well. He's played 59 matches for us the last 2 years, and he has 15 goals. Right? He has 15 goals, 16 assists, and 5 players of the match. 26-year-old Bulgarian. Definitely want to keep him part of the squad. Ivo Kazakov missed a lot of time this year with injuries, or with one injury, but, came in on a free last year, played 22 matches, 9 goals, 2 assists, 2 players of the match. He's scored 20 goals and 4 assists the last 2 years. Again, this is part of Football Manager that I do hate is the immersion. I know there are bugs. I've been fortunate to not have too many bugs, but I do know that's a real problem. But again, I feel like our attack's going to be okay. We probably do need maybe a better backup goalkeeper. But again, I want to try to increase the depth on our wings and in the midfield. That is really what I want to do. We have 389,000 euros now. I don't necessarily, we're now 41, 10, and 23, 55% winning percentage, 232 years, 33 days remaining on the contract of 470 years. I don't know that I really want to go in and say, hey, give me a new contract right now, because we just got a new contract during this year. But at the same time, I think that's something that might happen during the off season. I think, depending upon how much money it turns out we get from making the Conference League, it's not going to be a lot of money, but for us, I think it's going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be a big deal to give us the opportunity to potentially upgrade those facilities, which will improve our ranking, which will help our players develop, which theoretically helps us stay up at the top flight. I don't expect us to be able to really compete too well in Europe, but again, that then will also depend upon, what are we able to do in terms of players, right? We have 73,000 right now, which is not going to be enough to sign many players. I mean, you could see Martin. Well, wait, he's a free agent. Jean Martin, 28-year-old Brazilian, is a free agent. And then Jose Juan Guillen, they think, is worth 60,000. But the thing is, we would have want 2 midfielders. We definitely want 1 midfielder. Like Arsov, from Varen, that's a maybe. Pitar's actually better as a midfielder, apparently. Juan Tomic, wait, isn't he? Okay, Hercules, Guillermo Brown, and SC Kasim. Now the big issue with him is he doesn't have any stamina. 4 to 6. That is concerning. 170,000 for Slobodan, so we can't afford that one. We are going to try to approach him. Imported player. I don't want to say we're going to bring in another Brazilian. €950, 5.5 thousand on a loyalty. It's a 1.1 budget impact. Yeah. So Jean Martin from Brazil could also play a little bit as a center back. I mean, that would be big. Now, again, we do have Zakovic, who we think is going to be a really good player for us, but try upgrading at that midfield spot is going to be a big thing. But anyway, thank you, everybody. We're going to be back a little bit later on with a off-season special, but for right now, we will bid adieu, and I will talk to y'all later.